Hello and welcome to the Rough Idea podcast. We're going to be doing the wrestling one today. We'll be going through the Hell in a Cell predictions that we did in the last one, through Survivor Series and any other wrestling shows that have really happened through the week. I'm Dan.
I'm Yoshi.
And I'm shit at predictions. And I'm Connor.
Right,
you kind of were.
Should we just get straight to Hell in a Cell then?
Yeah, so we did the predictions for... There were 8 matches.
Yes.
And you basically... So, the only one that me and Dan disagreed on was the Cruiserweight pre-show match. So that decided which of us won.
And on the whole, you fucking nailed it.
So, we were watching this live. Like, we were in the same room when we were watching Hell in a Cell. And... like, for the fucking stakes, I have never seen so much hype for a fucking pre-show, like, tag match between nobodies. Like, fucking hell. I cannot... I'm actually shocked, though, that the heels didn't win. I know it's such a minor thing, but... it makes a little more sense now, but anyway. That was the only one where we disagreed. Dan predicted 7 out of 8 matches right. I predicted 6 out of 8 matches right. The only one that Dan got wrong was Sasha Charlotte.
Wait, did I get that one?
Yeah, you got that one right.
I got something!
You went against us on the Cruiserweight, Kendrick Perkins, Sasha Charlotte, Rollins versus KO, Enzo and Cass versus The Club, and you were with me on the pre-show Cruiserweight match.
Yeah.
So you're wrong on that. You got Sasha Charlotte right. We all got... So I put New Day as winning. I know technically they didn't win the match, but they came out on top. They retained the titles. That means they won.
Yeah, it's definitely it's a overall net positive.
You vote for who retained the titles, don't you?
Mm.
Bayley, Dana Brooke, we all got, and Rusev Reigns, we all got. So yeah, those were the predictions from Hell in a Cell. I think we're talking more about the actual matches a bit later, aren't we?
Yeah.
So we're going to talk non-WWE stuff first.
Because there have been interesting developments in the TNA world.
Yeah, so... Let's just dive into the deep end. TNA's lawsuits. Oh no.
Yeah, Mr. Smashing Pumpkins isn't so happy right now.
Yeah, so... basically, I think by the time we'd done the last podcast, it was, oh, who's going to buy TNA? Oh, Billy Corgan's trying to buy it, but also he's, like, trying to sue them for, I think they lied about how much debt they were in or something.
Yeah.
Now he's left. Now he has left them completely. He was still working there and was still, like, trying to bring them up. And now he's left. He's just given up.
It's a total clusterfuck.
But also, if they lose the lawsuits to him, he'll still end up with, like, I think it's like a third of the company or something.
Yeah, I think he did threaten to sell a controlling share to WWE.
Oh my god.
Bro, don't fuck with me.
Yeah.
I can be on the phone to Vince in like an hour.
Well, don't WWE own the back catalogue now? Is that right or not?
I don't think
know.
so, but...
Everything's been thrown about and stuff, so I don't even know what's going on anymore.
I'll be honest, like, I feel like as soon as WWE own the back catalogue, they will throw it in people's faces.
Oh, yeah.
They will make a point of going like, hey, here's this footage of TNA, here's this footage of when he was in this show, here's this footage of this old shit he did, and they'll just put it in every single, like, fucking segment.
They're going to do what they did after they won the Monday Night Wars. They're just going to be like, guys, look how great we are. We beat the other company. We're the best now.
Well, like, I remember they did it with the... You know, they've got the deal with New Japan now. I remember they did it with that. Like, you could tell the exact moment where they got that deal. Because all of a sudden they were like, let's do a backstory on Finn Balor in NXT. Here is all this time when he was in Japan. And it's like, Well, that was a conveniently, odd time to decide to go through his life story.
Yeah.
A couple of months after he's debuted, and about a month after he become champion, actually. They were like, oh, let's just go through his background. Why not?
Oh,
so...
Why can't...
Matter of time.
Why can't he be like John Cena and just come back from injuries stupidly fast?
Don't say that about Cena.
He does, though.
He doesn't. They've lied about his injuries in the past to make it seem better than it is. It's annoying. It is actually genuinely annoying. Because on the other hand, you've then got Cesaro, who came back from injury early.
Oh, yeah.
Because he tried to do the same thing. And basically got fucked again. It annoys me.
Or anything to do with Daniel Bryan.
Yes, also that.
Anyway, back on topic.
So actually TNA, I'm the one who mostly watches TNA. I'm the poor bastard who got stuck with that.
I've been watching some of it.
Yeah. So for the last few weeks, I've actually been saying, I think TNA is really, really good. And to be honest, I would rather watch an episode of TNA than an episode of Raw.
Yeah, the ones I've been watching, up until, shall we say, very recently, have been pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, all of that kind of changed this week.
Yeah.
And all of my notes are just fuck you, TNA, what are you doing? So, last I spoke, Lashley had just lost the title to Eddie Edwards. Since then, Eddie Edwards has defended it, and then defended it again, once against Lashley and once against Eli Drake. So they do a thing at Bound for Glory, Bound for Gold, winner gets a title shot whenever they want, but it has to be announced a week in advance.
Yeah.
So Eli Drake, last week or whatever, goes, I'm cashing in my Bound for Gold. Doesn't matter who the champion is, I'm cashing in. Turns out it's Eddie Edwards. They have a match. Eli Drake gets fucking crushed. And this applies to WWE as well, but right now, TNA, why the fuck do you have a cash-in if it's always going to fail?
Yeah.
Apparently, Bound for Gold last year was Tyrus, I think his name is. He showed up once since I've been watching TNA, if I'm honest. But who was Brodus Clay in WWE?
Ah, right.
He won it and then failed the cash-in. And now Eli Drake has won it and has failed the cash-in. Why even have it? If it's just going to be an excuse to have, a glorified main event. Plus, I'm biased because I think Eli Drake's amazing. I absolutely love Eli Drake. He's so talented and so fun to watch. He's really good on the mic. He's really good in the ring. And I just wish that more would happen with him at the moment, basically. So, moving away from that, I'm ignoring most of the TNA storylines because there's a lot of stuff that I can talk about that's filler or just kind of bullshit. Cody Rhodes' entrances have been good, but then he's basically been written out again at the moment.
It's because he's gone back to WCPW again.
Yeah, fair. But the one big storyline, the one thing that got everyone watching TNA recently was Matt Hardy. The broken Matt stuff has been amazing.
Yes, it has. It's been really
good. Up until this week.
Yeah.
So, last week, over the last few weeks, they've been introducing this, mysterious group of masked men called the DCC.
Who are essentially
they
anonymous.
revealed who they were this week. Right, yeah. They revealed who they were this week. Who were the three people behind the masks. One of them is somebody who's never been in TNA before, and so he's just this newcomer, lol. The other two are Bram and James Storm. So both were in TNA. One of them got written out by storyline, and the other one, I think, left and then came back. Except they never told anyone that he left and then came back.
Oh.
So, Yeah, so what ended up happening was James Storm had a bunch of matches, lost a title to Lashley, left for like a couple of months, like just disappeared for like a month and a half, and now is back in charge of the DCC. And it's meant to be a really big deal, like, oh my god, he's back. But actually, he never really left. Meanwhile, Bram was written out of the whole thing by... They did this big storyline with Decay and him, like, being in love with Rosemary and, like, them basically dragging him off to the middle of a woods somewhere and, like, attacking him in a shed and leaving him there.
In normal TNA fashion.
Right. And now he's just back as part of the DCC, and it's like, well, why did you do this whole storyline then? Why did you go through the, like, hoops of dragging him off to the middle of nowhere and tying him in with Decay? Like, the Decay stuff was built up over weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks, and then it was just like, oh, actually, you know what, we're not going to do anything with that. Like, it annoys me so much. And the reason this all ties back to the Broken Matt stuff is because DCC and Matt and Jeff had a match, not quite a match, last week, where they were fighting and it went backstage and there was this big fight between them. And it ended up with Matt being pushed off of a forklift while raised up. Horrible flashbacks for a Daniel Bryan fan right there.
Yeah.
And at the end of it, he kind of...
Oh, yeah, he was sort of
goes over.
Amnesiac, wasn't it?
Yes, Jeff goes over to see if he's okay, and he's like, of course I am. Who are you? They carried that on this week, so basically he keeps forgetting Rebby's name. He keeps calling her Debbie, which is amazing. But he doesn't remember who Jeff is. He thinks he's an engineer, like a builder. And it really annoyed me because, so, Jeff tried to get him to, like, remember, and they start, like, singing the obsolete song at him, and he doesn't remember it. They start talking about all the, like, Jeff getting injured, and, like, oh, I broke my leg on this dirt bike, don't you remember? Isn't that great? And he was like, no, I don't. What? That's terrible. And then he takes him to that pond. You know, they have, like, the pond that keeps bringing back people's old characters, and, like, the pond of rejuvenation or whatever.
Yeah.
Jeff takes him to that pond, and, like, he's like, get into the pond. And Matt's like, no, it's freezing. I'm not going to do it. I'm not walking in there. And Jeff just kind of doesn't force him in there. He's just like, all right, sure, whatever. And then he's like, oh, I guess I'll go and fight DCC on my own then. I guess I'll have to take care of them on my own. And he leaves. And then doesn't show up that episode to fight DCC.
Yeah.
So it seems like it's taking him a week to get to the fucking Impact Zone.
He's walking.
Yeah, like, it's really annoying. And the funny thing is, this week is when it's all started going downhill, which is the first week where they don't have Billy Corgan in charge. Like, apparently he must have been doing fucking work on their stories, because all of a sudden he's gone and the whole thing has train wrecked. Like, yeah, I'm not happy with where TNA's gone. Yeah, that's about all there is to say about TNA at the moment, I think. So,
should I go into Lucha Underground? Because it's been a pretty big fortnight.
Yes.
Well, the two big stories that really had happened was the Chavo Guerrero vs Rey Mysterio match that finally happened again, which was a loser leaves Lucha match.
Right, yeah, I remember you saying about this.
Yeah, and originally Chavo Guerrero won by disqualification because Chavo Senior hits Chavo with a chair.
Right.
He's like,
I'm so glad some wrestling company has finally done that. For years and years, I keep thinking Jericho would do it, where like Jericho will come into a match, hit KO with a chair, and be like, "We won!" Like,
yeah. Well, didn't what was it? Road Dogg and Billy Gunn do something a bit similar, where they kept losing by disqualification, so they didn't lose the tag championship.
I've seen it happen a few times with like disqualifications
the New Day did it a couple of times now.
Yeah, but I mean specifically like a match with a stipulation, and they're like, "Oh, the winner does this," and then someone just comes in, hits that person with a chair, and just like they won by disqualification because I hit them.
Yeah.
I'm glad to see that actually finally happen, because I've been thinking that should happen for so long.
Well, it's funny you should say that, actually, because after it all happens, like, Rey Mysterio hits him with the 619, and Chavo Cena gets in the ring, and he's just about to hit Rey Mysterio, and he turns and hits Chavo, which means he wins. And then the general manager, Dario Cueto, comes out, and he's like, I really like violence, this wasn't what I wanted to see, so I'm restarting the match.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
So I call bullshit.
Yeah. So then the match restarts and Rey Mysterio ends up winning it. So Chavo now has to leave Lucha Underground. So
Right, okay.
who knows? It could be Cruiserweight division, could come back to TNA.
It could just be part of a big storyline.
Yeah,
It
be a big
could just be
storyline where
kayfabe
they'll-
leaving. I mean, how many times has Triple H supposedly left?
The whole
was-
thing with like Lucha Underground is it's like a temple, and once you leave the temple, it's very hard to get back in.
Oh, right, yeah.
I remember with Triple H, he came out of retirement to have a retirement match. To have a if you lose, you retire match.
Oh my God.
It's fucking stupid, but it's Triple H. What to expect?
Yeah, and the other big one to happen was this week, which was Prince Puma versus Mil Muertes, and the whoever won, like whoever lost even was like dead basically. It's called the Grave Consequences match. It's basically a casket match, but when you lose, your soul disappears. Yeah, it's very Lucha Underground is very weird kayfabe sort of style, where like you can actually die in it and stuff.
I could
I
see
love-
Matt Hardy fitting in quite well there.
To be fair, I love stuff like that, but I was laughing with
yeah.
someone the other day about when WWE does that, when it was like Jack Swagger versus Alberto Del Rio, when Jack Swagger had Zeb Coulter, who was basically Donald Trump before Donald Trump, and like they were like, we are going to deport all Mexicans, and we're going to do this because Jack Swagger will be the world champion, and that means we can deport all Mexicans.
Yep.
Like, wait, what?
They've done
Hold on.
the amount of stupid kayfabe shit that shouldn't have worked in WWE, but it is really good. Like Undertaker, like the whole thing with the
Undertaker.
urn, and whoever has the urn controls the Undertaker, or Kane's mask and shit like
Time
that.
that Undertaker lost his powers because the urn got stolen.
Yeah.
And so he was like punching someone and they just like get up and brush it off as though it was nothing. It was like, oh my God, this is terrible.
Amazing.
Weirdly
but
remember
terrible.
that being in like, yeah, weirdly remember that being in something like SmackDown vs Raw 2009 or something like that. One of the actual storylines was you control the Undertaker's urn and then beat him at WrestleMania.
That's ridiculous. Right, anyway, Lucha Underground. Sorry.
Yeah, well, that match happened. It was a really good match. I recommend everyone to go watch it. Because it was like their third match, so it was like their rubber match.
Right.
And Mil Muertes has already been in this match before, and he lost. And then the person that he's with has the power of resurrection, I think. And like resurrected him, so he came back and then kicked the crap out of Prince Puma and actually injured him. And then now Prince Puma's like came back, was like, I'm gonna beat you, and then lost. So Prince Puma's now gone, which is also known as Ricochet, who is possibly the greatest cruiserweight ever. And he is no longer with Lucha Underground, maybe. So it could be another thing where it's just like a storyline. He manages to come back somehow, being resurrected, or he could be going somewhere else. I haven't heard any news as of yet.
Wrestling is weird.
Wrestling is really weird.
Yeah.
So, as far as non-WWE stuff as well, there's one more thing to talk about, right? Which I think you've got to go into. The WCPW stuff.
Oh, WCPW, yeah. I went to the London show, and it was possibly the most intense and best show that I've actually seen. And I've seen
so jealous.
WWE twice and NXT once, and it was better than all three of them. It might have been because I was in the 4th row, but that's different. But I don't want to say anything about it because the episodes haven't been released yet.
Right, okay.
So I don't want to say anything. But, like, matches have been announced for future shows. There was also a really big thing at the end.
Okay, fair enough.
But I've also now got tickets to Delete WCPW.
When is that?
November 30th in Nottingham.
Oh, I'm not going to get paid by then. God damn it.
WCPW seems to relatively know what they're doing. So
Yeah.
like I've watched like Adam's casting stuff on YouTube. It seems fairly competent, so I haven't watched any.
The storylines are really good. Like, it's basically both the Adams have sat there and watched like 30 years plus of wrestling. So now they're kind of like, we know the storylines that work, we know the PG stuff doesn't work, so we're going to go down this route. And so far, all of it's worked out.
Fair. Right. Should we get going with the WWE then, I guess?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Hell in a Cell. We'll go back to that, see what we remember from 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
So, my general view of the whole pay-per-view was that the matches were quite good, but the endings, like the end of every match was really weird. Like, there were so many, like, abrupt endings. Like, there were matches that just ended, like, I felt like ended 5 minutes too early or something, or just, like, were right in the swing of things, and it was just like, oh, that was a 3 count, what?
Yeah.
And, like, the most obvious one for that was Sasha Charlotte. Sasha Charlotte just ended out of fucking nowhere.
They were probably worried about Sasha.
Yeah, true. Sasha did
get
land
this
on her
fucking
head,
match
like, oh my
over.
God.
She's going to die.
Oh my god. Like, she landed on her head like 4 times in a row. And I was just like, please, Sasha, do not injure yourself. No, don't do this.
It was a very
You're
good way.
We don't want you getting injured.
It was a very good way to bring the match type to the women's division, I think. Because they got, like, the most brutal way they could do Hell in a Cell, pretty much. And they got right in there.
Yeah, theirs was by far the most, like, I would say intense Hell in a Cell match.
The only
Which,
problem
given
was
that
the
there were
tables.
3... Huh?
The only problem was the tables, the 2 tables. That wasn't the announced tables. We had the first one where Charlotte went off the corner into one of the tables.
Yeah.
And it kind of just, like, compressed instead of breaking, if you remember that.
Oh, yeah.
And then the second one, which didn't even
The
break.
second one didn't break, did it? No. Yeah, that was a really weird one, actually, at the end, because you've got this table, like, set up in the corner, and there's a 3 count. And you're just like, wait.
Yeah.
Something doesn't add up here.
I don't know. I do honestly think there's a chance that was done for the safety of the wrestlers.
Yeah, probably. So just a few general views that I've got here. So the pre-show match was the Cruiserweight Tag match. Cedric Alexander, Lindsay Dorado, Sin Cara versus Tony Nese, Drew Gulak, and Arya Daivari. I was surprised to see Drew Gulak take the pin. I feel like they were pushing him more than they are Daivari. I thought Daivari was there to take the pin if they lost. But yeah, Gulak took that one, which I was surprised by because I think he's really good and I think they want to push him.
That's fair enough.
I don't really think they did anything with the heels in that match.
No.
It was kind of just like a, let's show the 3 faces, even though at this point in time our champion is face.
Yeah.
Surely should push the heels, but...
Yeah. That's the thing, I kept thinking Kendrick will beat Perkins, but Perkins will win it back and then go up against a heel, so that kind of influenced my thoughts going into it, but
no, when I saw the faces won, that kind of showed me that Brian Kendrick was going to win.
Yeah. As a thing, I did really, really hope that Perkins would say, oh yeah, I let you win, like, you didn't earn it, because there was the bit building up to it where Kendrick was like, I need you to let me win this title. And I really hope Perkins would be like, yeah, I let you win. You still can't compete. Didn't happen. Perkins lost the title, like, the rematch, and that's it. It's basically written off now. He's gone. And, like, his title reign has come to a really abrupt end.
Kind of makes me feel that they're going to bring him back in maybe after Survivor Series.
I mean, like, I think at the moment they're just building up all of the cruiserweights. They're trying to build them all at once. And, like, they've built up Perkins and Kendrick.
Rich Swann looks unbreakable right now.
Rich Swann is unbelievable. But to be fair, he was always going to be one that they pushed pretty hard because he was in NXT and was super popular in NXT.
Yeah.
Or at least at, like, the house shows and stuff, like, around NXT stuff. Other matches, so it was, as a small thing, they had the 3 Hell in a Cell matches. I think we probably can all agree that it was a really good thing that they split those 3 matches up.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there should have been 3 in general.
I'm okay with there being 3.
There should have been
I'm
one.
not okay with the
have been a
3
pay-per-view.
that were there.
I'm starting to get a tad sick of the words main event because I don't think WWE knows quite what they mean.
Yeah, I'll agree on that one. That makes sense.
They did it really badly on SmackDown this week.
Oh god, they really did,
They kept pushing the Becky Lynch, Alexa Bliss as being the main event all through the show, and then there were 2 matches after it.
But really,
yeah.
if they're trying to... What I think they should have done, if they're trying to develop the women's division and trying to really hit home, it's like, oh yeah, we're having this resurgence of, like, hardcore women's matches, and we're going to have, like, women doing Hell in the Cell and stuff. I think they probably should have just had that at the end as a main event.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Like, they can have 3 Hell in a Cell matches and still have one of them be the main event.
Yeah.
But I'm glad they did split them up, because otherwise it would have become really, really repetitive.
Oh, yeah.
I'm also glad Rusev Reigns was first of the 3, because it was by far going to be the most forgettable one.
Yeah, there was this weird thing where he did...
was.
I can't remember what his finisher's called now. Oh shit, I've blanked on Rusev's finisher.
Accolade.
The Accolade, yeah, when they did that on the steps with a chain, and I'm not sure what the steps served to the procedure, but it was this really weird thing.
Yeah, I think the idea is, like, he's pushing them down into, like, the edge of metal or something, but, like, it doesn't really look like
No,
it.
it just
It's
looked like it was the same as on the ground, but, like, higher up.
Roman
I mean, the chain I can
slightly
see.
colder.
I could see how the chain would do something.
Oh, the chain was, yeah. And I think Rusev just, like promptly dropped it for no reason.
Yeah.
Fucking... I really wish they would, like, actually let Rusev do stuff. Keep in mind that the day after Hell in a Cell, he showed up on Raw to attack Goldberg and get attacked. Like,
Yeah.
why did they pick Rusev to do that? Why Rusev? Like, I think Rusev is amazing, and I'm really disappointed. with
Oh, he
what
is
they've done
very
with him.
good. And
Yeah.
one thing I never
I'm
got
pretty
to...
sure I ranted about this before, but...
And something I never got to mention before is, like, didn't they originally, like, push him as Russia?
Yes.
Like, and it's
Yeah,
like,
now he's Bulgarian.
yeah, it's like, now he's inexplicably from the country he's actually from.
Well, they always used to bill him as originally from Bulgaria, but residing in Moscow, Russia.
Yeah, it was weird.
That was how they introduced him.
Basically, they wanted to build the heat between America and Russia by having it
Yeah.
reset John Cena.
Yeah,
Get that
you
old
make him
war thing
Russian
back.
in America, and it's an instant villain. Instant. I do remember laughing, actually, because there was one time I was watching pay-per-view in a uni computer room, one of the guys had fallen asleep in the on just one of the sofas there, and he was Bulgarian, And all of a sudden he woke up, like, really fucking confused because he was half asleep and he heard someone shouting in Bulgarian, and it was because Rusev was on. So I was like, at that point, he was still being billed as, like, a Russian heel, and I was just like, yep, good Russian here, the Bulgarian guy just understood every word you said. So, Bayley Dana Brooke was a match.
Yes, it was.
It happened.
That's about all I can say about it.
It was a match.
The right person won.
Yes, yeah.
They did wrestling.
It was the shortest match on the entire show.
Yeah, not even surprised. The Club versus Enzo and Cass, which, I mean, we both said the Club would win, but I'm disappointed that the Club won.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not.
They're so boring right now.
I saw something good online that compared the Shield. In New Japan, I said it wrong already. In New Japan, they were like the New Japan's version of the Shield when they were like at their peak. Just to kind of give you a thing from what they are in New Japan, because they're shit in WWE.
Even when the Shield were at their peak as heels, it was, oh hey, they've got this one really good wrestler, and this kind of vaguely good wrestler, and this person who's being carried by the other two members. Like, I never understood Roman Reigns' hype, even when he was in the fucking Shield.
We had this conversation
like, oh, he's so
last time.
strong. Fucking hell, it annoys me so much still. The one thing I will say about the Hell in a Cell Enzo and Cass Club match, that had to be one of the worst ever Enzo promos.
Yeah, it was very weak.
So bad. It was so flat and stale and dull. But I know why I don't like the Club, and it's because of their finishers. And I know that's a really trivial thing to call out, but I don't like the Club because their finishers are fucking boring.
It's okay to not like them because they finish things lame.
They're slow to get into their finishers. So I originally, here's the thing, when Bray Wyatt first showed up, I didn't like him. One of the big reasons was his matches were all really, really slow and everything felt disconnected. In the same, I think we mentioned this with Dean Ambrose last time, same sort of thing. Like, everything feels like, it's not like move goes into move goes into move. It's like you do this set, and then you stop, and then you do this set of moves, and then you stop.
A Dean Bray Wyatt thing would be interesting.
Yeah. But that's what Bray Wyatt felt like until he started actually getting into Sister Abigail from, like, out of fucking nowhere, basically.
Yeah.
That is what I feel like with the Club. The Club do that. They have this slow, plodding style that everything feels disconnected.
Yeah.
That is why I don't like them in WWE.
The thing with, like, their finishing move, I feel like they're really struggling to find tag team finishing moves now.
Yeah.
Like, it's very present on NXT at the moment. Like, the Authors of Pain, they're these two massive guys. Like, they're bigger than Rusev, big. And their finisher...
Rusev's tiny.
Well, yeah. Their finisher is a Russian leg sweep mixed with a clothesline. And it's awful for them. They should have this big, powerful move, and it's a clothesline.
Though, can I also point out that the Authors of Pain is a pretty fucking cool name?
That is a really good name.
Yeah, but for people with personality...
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, true.
This is true. This is very true.
So, there are two matches we haven't mentioned at Hell in a Cell yet, which were Jericho, which, by which I mean Seth Rollins versus KO plus Jericho in the background showing up.
Getting put through everything.
Yes, yeah. Personally, I don't like interruptions in a match. I think it does detract from the match, especially since it wasn't just Jericho interferes and the match ends. That's it.
Yeah, at times it can help.
We had... I think the issue is we had half a really good match, and then we had Jericho walk in, and we had half of Seth Rollins destroying Chris Jericho, but no match happening.
Yeah.
See, that was the problem with it, was the fact that Chris Jericho came in and just got beat up. Like, if he would have come in and done anything... He hit him with a code breaker, although I think that was after the match.
It was, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, actually, he did nothing. He's got beat up.
I mean, within,
I can't think. Yeah.
with interruptions, I think that maybe the best. I think interruptions were sort of at their best. To go back to a previous thing I mentioned, during like the Degeneration X days, where they would just be fucking crazy and do whatever they wanted. And that's one of the only times I've really seen interruptions really working.
I mean, I think interruptions are fine as a way to finish a match. Like,
and
then this person interfered in an ODQ match and the match ended.
Yeah.
But, like, you know, we're watching wrestling a lot of the time for the wrestling, and Seth Rollins versus Kevin Owens was a really big deal for that. So to have half the match be, and then Chris Jericho's running around and Seth doesn't actually get to wrestle, was really disappointing. Or either Seth doesn't get to wrestle, or he wrestles Jericho while Kevin Owens lies off in a corner somewhere, so he doesn't get to wrestle. Like, we didn't get Seth versus KO. We got Seth versus Jericho and KO attacking Seth.
Yeah.
He came in at such an early point, though, that I was like, the ending of the match might have Triple H in it. And then I kept waiting, and then no.
Really, it was just a handicap match, really.
Yes, yeah, pretty much. And the only other match we haven't mentioned was the tag match, where New Day won by DQ, but Kofi was tapping out, but...
It was weird.
Like, yeah. The weird thing is, Xavier Woods looks awful. Oh, no, wait, no, it was Xavier Woods that tapped out, sorry.
Yeah.
So, Xavier Woods still looks awful, because he still can't win a match.
Why wasn't Kofi wrestling?
Don't know.
Do they have a reason?
I mean,
no.
I'd say it's okay in a sense because Xavier Woods doesn't get to wrestle as much, really.
Right. I like the fact that Xavier Woods got a chance, but I don't like the fact that he only gets a chance when they're expected to tap out.
Yeah. Because he's good.
Yeah. But on the flip side of that, New Day heel turn?
That'd be interesting.
Well, you say that because of what happened here, but...
Okay, everything since... Okay, I'll give you that. Everything since kind of pushes away from that. So, let's move on to everything since then. So, one of the things in the Raw immediately afterwards that I noticed was that even if New Day don't go heel, Sheamus and Cesaro are very much going face again. And it does feel like they're trying to just replicate Team Hell No.
Yeah. Except
No,
that it's... I
the
do...
thing... Yeah, go.
Well, one thing I do like with Cesaro and Sheamus is I do like the dynamic of their tag team, but they fucking despise each other.
Yeah,
well.
they pull it off well.
The whole Facebook Live thing was really funny when that happened.
That was great. That was so good. One of the things I was going to say is, this is the best face Sheamus I've seen in forever. He's clearly face, but kind of, trying not to be, almost. But, you can tell he's back to being, kind of a good guy again, because he's doing the same things that he used to do when he was face way back when. The most obvious one being the 10 beats that the crowd chant along with.
Yeah.
He kept... Yeah. There was a point where, when he first went back to being a heel, he would start doing it, he'd get to, 3 or 4, and the crowd would start chanting, and he'd stop, yell at the crowd, and then just, hit the person in the back of the head. Now he actually just went to 10 again. It's such a minor thing, but it gets the crowd involved.
It's the showboaty stuff, yeah.
More. Yeah.
I can't help but feel as well, though, that the shame chants are never going to stop now.
No,
it's
no,
like the Kurt
not.
Angle "you suck" sort of thing. It's just going to stick from now on, I think.
As a thing, so the tag team segment in the Raw Just Gone was godlike. Holy
funny,
shit!
Wasn't it?
I know I've been singing the fucking praises of New Day since forever, but that reminded me why.
The only thing that I can pick negative from that was the club.
Yes.
They were so bland.
Yeah.
But then the match afterwards kind of showed them that they can be bland, I guess.
Well, the match afterwards was weird though, because like the club beat New Day, you know, they've beaten the tag team champions. This is really like, this is such a huge push. This is so much momentum going into Survivor Series.
Yeah.
Like, it feels like they've got momentum at the completely wrong time.
What you've got to remember though is it was a non-title match, and whenever it's a non-title match, the New Day lose.
Oh, that's true. Actually, yeah, they cheat to win the title matches,
Yeah,
and
then they lose the non-title
lose
matches.
all the non-title matches. Fuck's sake. Related to the whole tag team segment there, by the way. Firstly, my notes are literally, why are the Shining Stars? Nothing else.
They're awful, aren't they?
Just, why do they exist?
Yeah.
Why? Like, but more importantly, like when Goldust, like when they did the Golden Truth thing, I seem to remember Goldust very specifically saying something about wanting to push like the new young talent and everything. So why is he working with Primo and Epico?
They're the
True.
newest. Unless they're going to have like a cruiserweight tag team, they're the newest.
I don't know, but that match was so weird. The fact that the Shining Stars or Golden Truth have a match to see who gets onto the Survivor Series team, and whoever wins, the crowd loses.
Yeah. The entire thing of the Shining Stars annoys me, and the Golden Truth. Like, a couple of weeks ago, they did the thing with Titus O'Neil and the Payday Bar and the gold watch and all this. And it's so bad.
The Golden Truth are there as, like, their marketing gimmick, basically, at this point.
Yeah.
But the thing that surprised me most is how Goldust is still a thing.
Oh, Goldust is incredible.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, he's great,
When he was
but-
in, he was really good.
He's great, but the fact he exists still confuses me. Because it's such a weird thing. Like when he dressed as Lady Gaga and shit like that.
He did do one of the breathing things in the segment. That was funny.
Yeah. It's such a weird character, but so great. It's again going back to the gimmicks that shouldn't work. Really
But just
shouldn't.
somehow did, yeah. So we briefly mentioned the Cruiserweights, so we can talk about the Cruiserweight stuff from the last couple of weeks, which, admittedly, there isn't much of.
There's a cruiserweight title match.
There's gonna be, yeah. We've got that one coming
yeah.
up, which is...
There was on
Oh,
Raw
there
2
was...
weeks ago.
Sure, yeah, there was that, but that match was...
I liked the entire thing, if I'm honest. The
I
fact
think
that,
I always liked the matches, but I didn't like the dynamics of it, I guess. Like, there's no
Yeah.
other way of putting it, but yeah.
This week's one was a lot better.
I liked this week's match, except it was really weird. So it helped that they had the Scottish crowd for Noam Dar's Royal
Noam
debut.
Dar's debut was amazing.
But
Apart from
the
he didn't-
match...
Yeah, he didn't
Uh-huh.
do much. That was,
Right,
that was the only
the
thing
match
that
was
annoyed me.
really, really weird, because it was blatantly setting up for the post-match promo, where Kendrick attacks Noam Dar and then Noam Dar attacks him back and whatever. Like, it was setting up for all of that. But that meant that the match itself, the atmosphere was really weird, because they were like, here's this person that the crowd are going to cheer for, like, the fucking entire time, and we're going to put him on a team with the biggest heel we've got, so you're going to be cheering for the heel for the whole match against the two faces.
Yeah. That is weird.
And, like, I get why they did it, but it ended up with, like, a really weird dynamic for the match.
Yeah.
I feel like if they were going to do something like that, they should have had Kendrick attack him before the match. And then had changed the match up in some way, or, like, had, like, another, couple of people come out to rush to his aid or something.
I think
Yeah.
Brian Kendrick should have just walked out, looked at him and gone, nah, and walked into the back again.
Yeah, even that would have been better than what they did.
Yeah.
It was a really weird dynamic. I liked the match, I just didn't like anything else around it.
The after part as well. This is something I was wanting to ask you, like, do you think they're running out of finishing moves now? Just because, like, Noam Dar's finishing move, I've got it written down here, it looked like a Kinshasa mixed with an Insiguri. It was just like a running, jumping kick to the face.
I
And
guess
it's just
there's only so
are they
much you
starting
can
to
do.
run out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
I mean, we know they're running out of finishers from the fact that they went, we need to give Daniel Bryan a finisher that isn't a submission hold. I don't know, running knee to the head.
Yeah.
yeah. So can I just quickly mention something that's starting to annoy me in the Raw Women's division? Specifically Nia Jax. In that her entire character, her entire character is to no sell.
I hate Nia Jax so much.
Do you mean like when she got
I mean, I appreciate.
Did you know though, guys? Did you know she's Samoan? Not sure if they've mentioned it. She's related to like a couple of other wrestlers. You might have heard of them.
Yeah,
Do you mean like Roman
They're
Reigns? who's related to
also
The Rock?
Samoan. Roman Reigns is also related to The Rock. Shocking news.
But to get slightly back on track, I appreciate that they've gotten a more powerhousey, larger women's wrestler out.
Yes,
But
yeah.
the fact they've done this sort of, oh yeah, her thing is to not feel pain from anything, pretty much, or ever get moved, apart from on
she
random
squashed
occasions.
Bailey, like
That annoys
Bailey
me.
is so popular right now. Like everyone fucking loves Bailey, and they were just like, you know what? Let's have Nia Jax completely fucking dominate her. Like it wasn't even a close match.
No.
And that pisses me off.
Well, it was like Bailey's so over that she almost destroyed the segment by accident.
Yes, I put this down, like, when I was writing my notes on this, I was like, this section had absolutely everything. I put it down as, like, the good, the bad, and the ugly. The good was just Bailey in general. Like, Bailey being so... I love Bailey's character. Like, I love the setup and, like, the kind of infectious glee. But, like, even down to little things like Byron Saxton, when, like, Corey was like, are you jealous of Michael Cole right now? And he was like, yeah, a little bit. Because Cole got a hug. Like, stuff like that. It was just so fun. And I love that. I hated the fact that, again, Nia Jax, they had Charlotte back down against Nia Jax.
That was funny, I thought.
It annoys me, though, because Charlotte is legitimately one of the best wrestlers, like, best female wrestlers that WWE have had in forever, and arguably one of the best wrestlers that they've got right now.
Yeah.
Like, the fact that, like, they've got Nia Jax in here, who has not wrestled a fucking match, as far as I'm concerned, because she cannot prove that she can take a hit.
No, she's just walked around and punched things.
Right. And Charlotte backs down. Like, no, for fuck's sake. And then what I listed as the ugly was that the Alicia Fox promo was really awkward. I like Alicia Fox, but not for promos, apparently.
She just messed her entire thing up, didn't she?
Yes. But the other thing I put as the ugly was the crowd. The crowd not letting Bailey or Charlotte talk was really annoying. I did kind of like Charlotte being like, you will all regret this. But Sasha handled it perfectly. Sasha came out, hugs Bailey, gives her the sunglasses, sing along a bit, and that's it, they stopped. Sasha knew how to handle it, and, like, that was great. But, yeah. I don't like it when the crowd try and almost, like, take the spotlight away from the wrestlers.
Flashbacks to the
I know
belt.
what I mean.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also, there was the NXT Bailey versus Alexa Bliss match, where just the entire match you had people like singing and dancing, and everyone was so happy, except they ignored the fucking match.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate things like that. I absolutely hate it.
Another thing that happened, this is in the 6-man tag match, I think. People got so bored of the match, they started looking at a beach ball that was in the crowd.
Oh my god!
So you can hear them in like the crowd, and there's like cheering constantly, and then a massive boo when the security take it. 'Cause it was on Botchamania from like a little side camera.
Oh no, I missed that. Fair enough.
That's all I've got to say.
So I briefly mentioned Rusev and like the Goldberg segment earlier.
Oh god, yeah, Goldberg fell over.
Goldberg falling. Did you hear? He blamed though. He was like, I can't remember what he blamed like jet lag or something.
Yeah, it was on his Twitter, wasn't it?
Yeah, and like, oh my god, Goldberg falling over was terrible. The hype for that match just doesn't exist.
Nope.
Like, Brock completely crushed Orton and Cena at their peaks. What is Goldberg going to do when he's 12 years away from the company and confirmed his last match with the company? Like, he is not going to win. That is not how wrestling works. He's not going to come in and go, this is my last match. I guess I'll just come out on a high. No. You're going to put over Brock Lesnar again. And I'm sick of it. I hate
because
Brock Lesnar.
no one's ever put over Brock Lesnar.
Right, you know, it's not like he destroyed everyone in like 10 fucking seconds and like
Ended the
fucking
streak.
broke Randy Orton in half.
There was raised the question of who's going to beat him, though.
True, and whoever does will get a fucking push as hell.
Oh,
But
yeah.
it won't be Rusev at this point. Fucking like
No.
there was a Sami Zayn versus Rusev match on this week's Raw. And that should be absolutely everything I want. I love both of those wrestlers. They've both got really interesting, really different styles. They work really well with a range of people. And I just couldn't get into it. Because it was kind of like watching Curtis Axel versus Apollo Crews. Like, it's two decent wrestlers who are just nobodies.
Yeah.
And that annoys me that Zayn and Rusev are in that position. Like, I hated it. I hated that so much. So, we've got Reigns again.
Yeah.
Woo.
Yeah.
So I mentioned before we started recording, one of my favourite moments, there was a segment where Reigns came out and the crowd were just booing relentlessly. And Foley turns around and he's like, my wife's a big fan of yours at least. Come on, Foley, that is not going to help the guy. Oh my god. But like, just everything with Reigns has been so awkward. Everything around Seth's face turn being like really weirdly focused around Reigns. I don't get it.
Yeah,
Are they
it's like
using
they're
Seth's
sort of like saying-
popularity to try and boost Reigns up.
Yeah, it's almost like they're sort of going, oh, look, the Shield. People like the Shield. We're going to tease stuff to do with the Shield when there's only two members of the Shield around, and one of them everyone hates.
Hey, remember that time when you guys were cheering for Reigns? Why don't you try that one again?
Yeah, that's basically what they're doing.
The funny thing is, as well, Seth's face turns at the moment seems to be like one versus all, which, let's remember, was a failed Reigns push.
Yeah, but the way they're doing it this time is more... They're playing on the fact that Seth Rollins is naturally smug and sarcastic. It's like,
Yeah, it makes sense.
I
for
guess
Seth
that's
to be
another
one
guy
versus
who
all.
doesn't like me.
He's made an enemy of the entire locker room, and he's just like, alright, sure, whatever, I'll take him.
Yeah.
And that kind of works. Also, Seth is back to becoming the Daredevil, and I love it. So the reason I became such a big Seth Rollins fan was when it was the Shield versus Hell No and Ryback at TLC.
Yeah.
It was like one of their first big matches where they actually did stuff. And Seth, at the end of the match, got put through 2.5 tables. And I say 2.5 because he went through the first one, and then as he went through the second one, his head bounced off another. And you could see at the end of the match he was being carried out. A few weeks after that, or like a couple of pay-per-views after that, he was moonsaulting off the Titantron.
Yeah.
So I was a big Seth Rollins fan. He's going back to that point. He's going back to just being like reckless bullshit. He running powerbombed Chris Jericho through Braun Strowman through a table. And I loved it. I loved absolutely all of it. Just so much of the Fatal 5-Way this week was godlike. The way they're building Strowman at the moment, I think he might be the one who eventually beats Lesnar.
Yeah, and one thing I did notice is that the commentators actually referred to him as Braun Strong.
Really?
They didn't mean to, but they accidentally called him Braun Strong.
Braun Strongman.
Which did give me flashbacks to last podcast, where I actually said Strowman.
Yeah. Jericho and Owens have been amazing over the last couple of weeks, by the way. The Raw 2 weeks ago was really disappointing, except for Jericho and Owens. And to some extent Seth Rollins, but he wasn't in it much. Jericho and Owens carried the fucking show. Jericho more than anyone. But, yeah, those two are godlike right now. And as much as I said, the only other note I've got is that as much as I said about the Rollins-Reigns thing, I actually do like the synergy between Rollins and Reigns. As somebody who likes Rollins, this might actually be a good way to push Roman Reigns.
Yeah, because
as much as it's weird,
the two are actually outside of kayfabe good friends. They've got natural chemistry.
Yeah,
which they can play
together
off
for years anyway.
Yeah.
I feel like this episode's going to go over time because
it's going to go way over time.
A lot,
but I'm okay with that.
I think that is everything I have to say about Raw specifically.
I'll tell you, we've done one show with
we've done the first show. To be fair, it is the longer one, but so SmackDown. I mean, let's just dive in at the deep end. SmackDown right now is the James Ellsworth show.
Yes, it is.
Reason, yes.
Well, it's the James Ellsworth show, and it's the Daniel Bryan Shane McMahon show.
Yes, yeah, that again as well.
Let's talk about the upper staff. Sure.
So, one of the things I've said is that 2 weeks ago on SmackDown, I thought the James Ellsworth story had come full circle. I was like, James Ellsworth is still fun, still interesting, I liked it hadn't got old. And then I was like, the story has come full circle, he's showed up, been used by Ambrose to like screw over AJ Styles and get a few funny matches, got like his moment in the spotlight, wants to return a favour, fucks it up, comes out, helps, makes amends, the end. Move on. We're done. The way they've written him in now is, he's a mascot, lol, AJ Styles still hates him.
Anyway, what they're doing now, it's sort of like now he's seemingly pissing everyone off. Because there was the amazing thing where he went to call Kane for a tag, and Kane was just like, fuck off.
Kane was just like, don't tag in ever.
Yeah.
And he tagged himself in and lost, but yeah. The thing is, James Ellsworth is still meant to be like lovable idiot. The thing is, Shane loves him, the crowd loved him. The Scottish fans' reactions to James fucking Ellsworth, holy shit.
I've actually got on my notes, AJ Styles has a point, James Ellsworth does look like a foot. That's all I've got regarding James Ellsworth in my notes.
Sure. As the thing, the Scottish crowd this week, godlike. I am so glad that the fucking Baron Corbin storyline has happened, even if it's happened in the dumbest way. But having that happen in front of a Scottish crowd was amazing, just for them chanting, he fell over and over again. Just laughing at the fact that Corbin fell off the fucking apron. Like,
I don't mind Baron Corbin. He's interesting.
Nia Jax again.
Yeah.
That whole thing of not being able to lose, cannot lose convincingly. That is Corbin.
Yeah, that's the thing. Corbin, I feel like deep down he could be really good.
Yeah, he's got the potential there. Same for Reigns. It was like I always said the same with Reigns. Reigns had the potential but couldn't live up to it. Corbin is the same. Corbin has the potential to be a good wrestler, but he can't take hits well. He can't take the falls. Even the matches he's lost, he hasn't done it well.
Yeah.
Like, obviously there are some wrestlers who are better at that than others. Like, the reason Corbin went against Ziggler is because Ziggler is good at losing.
Ziggler's just good.
Yes. But yeah, the fact that Baron Corbin is written out of the Survivor Series team is like, I love it. I think it's great. The fact that Shane McMahon is the replacement.
I just had a look then for like the SmackDown roster, and there really isn't anyone else. It had to be Shane.
Well, initially, when they were saying that, Kane was in shot when they were talking about picking someone else. And they were just
so happy it's not Kane.
I honestly
like
thought
Kane.
it was going to be Kane, because when they said that, it cut to a shot of Kane.
Right, Kane would make sense, especially given that Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt are there.
Yeah.
Cena.
Cena's kind of waiting now, isn't
They'll
he?
just throw Cena in wherever they need someone.
Yeah. I imagine he'll show up at some point, but won't actually... won't necessarily wrestle at Survivor Series. If he does show up, he'll be like, I'm going to give a match to anyone who wants it, Raw or SmackDown, just come out, open challenge to anyone who wants to have a match.
Yeah.
And it'll be to push somebody from Raw, probably Bo Dallas.
Yeah.
I don't think that's actually going to happen, but if it was anyone, it would be Bo Dallas.
I think they'll wait it out till Royal Rumble.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a long time to wait at this point, but sure, yeah.
It's because I've heard rumours, but I won't talk about said rumours.
Okay, fair enough, yeah. I never buy into rumours.
No, neither do I, which is why I don't want to say it.
So we mentioned Kane and Orton and Wyatt. What do you guys think of that storyline?
I think it's going to be really interesting for Survivor Series.
Yeah.
Especially with, Braun Strowman being on the other side.
Oh, God, yeah,
And
I can't wait
Randy
to
Orton's
see
kind of like his replacement in a way.
Yeah.
He's their third man. So I'm
But
really
then,
interested. That's the thing I'm interested with the main event, is to see how Braun Strowman's going to play into everything.
Yeah. I'm really interested to see where it goes after Survivor Series as well, though, because, at the moment they seem to be playing up a big thing where, Luke Harper doesn't trust Orton at all. And I think that could be really interesting, because what I imagine will end up happening is they'll have Orton turn on the Wyatts eventually, and then Harper will just be like, I knew it. I fucking told you.
It's it's possible that Randy Orton's just playing them.
I don't think he is. I think he'll just betray them. I think he's, teaming up with them, but he sees it as, mutual benefit as opposed to working for Bray Wyatt. And eventually he'll turn on them when it's no longer mutual benefit.
Yeah, I guess his whole thing has always been that he's been unpredictable. He's just done his thing.
Yeah. One of my notes for this is that Orton is edgy as fuck. He did a promo, and my notes for basically summarising the promo are, the devil whispers to me, I am the darkness, I know no mercy. He did this really dark, brooding promo where he was like, I have known death for my whole life. I've always been different.
When you stare into the abyss stares back.
Holy shit.
Something I did notice, it's a really small detail overall, but when Luke Harper and Randy Orton kind of pushed James Ellsworth to Bray Wyatt, Randy Orton and Luke Harper both just stood there staring at each other. It was very odd.
They competed to push James Ellsworth through, though. That's the point.
Yeah.
Harper almost seems to not like Orton because he's stealing the spotlight away from Harper.
Also,
no, I want Senpai more.
Sorry, what?
Why is Luke Harper not in the match? Why is it Shane McMahon over Luke Harper? Luke Harper's just there.
They don't like Harper as much as the fans do.
No,
I'm crazy about Luke Harper. He's amazing.
He's really good. He's really, really good. Also, to be fair, though, they had to have a second face.
Yeah, I guess.
It's a really minor thing, but that was the first thing I noticed when I looked at the team before with Corbin, was they were like, AJ Styles, Randy Orton, Bray Wyatt, Baron Corbin. I'm just like, hold on. This is a very villainous team right here.
Faces.
Yeah, true. Cena's written out at the moment, so they were just like, Shane McMahon, let's go. Obviously, it has Ziggler.
He's in a match, though.
Well, potentially.
Yeah.
Except it's face versus face, and he has a match with The Miz at this week's SmackDown. I think The Miz is going to win.
Yeah.
I think it's The Miz versus Sami Zayn.
I don't know. I think they're going to build it as a big show of respect. Because
so the other thing I could see is both Ziggler and The Miz are amazing performers who have a lot of experience in a lot of different match types.
Yeah.
I could very easily see The Miz beating Ziggler, and Ziggler going, now I won't get my rematch opportunity, and Shane going, alright, we'll make it a triple threat.
Yeah. I can see
Well,
that
then surely
happening.
they've got to put another person from Raw in, otherwise Raw are going to kick off.
In which case you can make it a 4-way, sure.
Yeah, put Rusev in it.
Oh, I would be so happy with that. Can you imagine Ziggler, Miz, Zayn, Rusev? That's like a fucking
Yeah, that
dream
would be a
match.
good match.
That's
right
a good
there.
match.
Actually, Rusev does need to be on the... Oh, yeah, we're just going on like the fucking dream booking right now. As a thing, the promos around the IC title, like the Miz and Maurice promo where the Miz got the match this week's SmackDown, I thought was really, really good. The promo with Ziggler, not so much. Which is interesting, because I normally like Ziggler promos, but for some reason he just didn't, I don't know, care. Obviously, the balance to the IC title match as a thing is the reason it's not just, like, instantly predictable. Like, it would just be the IC title is retained, because otherwise Raw has too many titles. They're like, oh, right, we're going to do Brian Kendrick versus Kalisto, and the winner gets the entire Cruiserweight division, as well as the title changing hands.
I love
Yeah.
how it's like, well done, you injured someone, have a title match.
True.
Like, where was Corbin's title match when that happened?
Yeah, I don't even know what happened with Corbin after that. He just kind of did nothing for a
Kind
bit.
of
didn't he?
disappeared for a bit, yeah.
Yeah. But as it goes, people have been calling for SmackDown to have the Cruiserweights for a while, so actually that could be a really, really big deal.
Yeah.
I don't think it should happen, because I like the fact that they can get more time on Raw. I just think they need more time on Raw.
They're not using the Cruiserweights on Raw, they're kind of just putting it in to fill the hours.
Yeah. But I feel like they need time that actually justifies them being there. Because at the moment, Raw has a bigger roster by merit of the Cruiserweights. If they move to SmackDown, SmackDown will have a bigger roster on a smaller show, and that seems really stupid.
True.
So, I was going to go on to the women's stuff, but I've got one note here that isn't from women's stuff, which is Kurt Hawkins, why?
What culture summed this up really well, where they were like, Kurt Hawkins, you can kind of compare him to Heath Slater in the fact that he turns up, he loses, and that was it.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like, Kurt Hawkins, Heath Slater, Control C, Control V. Why aren't you cheering? Like,
I mean, well, so the thing is, they really, really hyped up his return as well, with like promos
Yeah.
building into it and like the fucking Chuck Norris fact bullshit.
Yeah, like the slammer revolving door and shit.
Yeah, all of that bullshit with Hawkins coming in and like him refusing to wrestle because he got attacked, and then all of a sudden he beats Apollo Crews. And like, I like Crews. Crews is a good wrestler. He needs a gimmick. He needs like a character to carry him at the moment. But I like Apollo Crews. He is a very good wrestler, and I'm really annoyed that they're like, Kurt Hawkins, what a fucking jobber. Let's make him beat Crews. He's still better than you, lol.
yeah, like the week before that, he lost to Dolph Ziggler in a matter of seconds.
It was, yeah, literally 7 seconds,
Yeah.
they said. It was nearly record-breaking, according to Morrow.
All I've got written
Yeah.
down is just rest in peace, Apollo. Uha Nation was so good. That's all I've got written down.
I like Apollo Crews, and he's just, not getting anywhere. The only other thing that I've got written down was all about the women's matches, which...
All I've got is a small comment that Tyler Breeze and Fandango are a perfect fit as teammates.
Oh yeah, those two happened, sure.
I love them so much. Like, I've been such a big Tyler Breeze fan since NXT.
Those two make perfect sense as a team.
Yeah, being the narcissist.
Beating the Vaudevillains in, like, under a minute, not so good. Like the Vaudevillains, they're really good wrestlers, they're really fucking talented, and they're a really fun character.
Yeah, they've got a
gimmick.
fun gimmick. Like old school fisticuffs.
But why are they heel? if they've got a good gimmick, they should be face.
Because they're called the Vaudevillains. That's literally the only thing I can think of.
Well, their gimmick also works as heel or face really well, though, because like the whole point is that they're super theatrical and over the top and like posh and old-fashioned, and that kind of works for a heel because they can do it in a way of like, we're better than you, we like...
They can do mustache
basically
twirling.
looking down on everyone else like superior high ground. I like the Vaudevillains, and I'm disappointed they're not in the match, to be honest, but no, instead we get the Hype Bros and Breezango instead, which
I do refuse to call them that.
Above either of those. Sure. I've got it written here because I've got the shortest way of writing everything, so it fits on one line. So yeah, the women's matches, we had a tag match between Alexa and Carmella versus was it Nikki and Naomi? I think I haven't actually written it down.
I don't
But I
know.
was
All I
surprised that
remember
Alexa
is
and
that,
Carmella won.
all I remember is that Naomi's intro gives me migraine.
Oh, I love it.
I think it's really good.
I'm not saying
don't
it's
even
bad.
know
I'm just
that.
saying it actually gives me migraine.
It's such a weirdly simple idea. It's just like, you know what, she's just going to have fucking
Glowing.
flashing
Everything
everywhere
will glow.
and glow, and that's it. That's her whole character.
I had to crank
But
up
it
my
works.
flux like 20 times. It was crazy.
They've written
But yeah,
themselves
Alexa
into a
and
corner at
Carmella-
2K18 though. Imagine trying to animate that as an entrance for WWE 2K18.
Yeah.
Epilepsy warnings on the covers again, I
Yeah.
guess. But no, like, yeah, Alexa and Carmella getting the win was weird. Like, I was shocked. Good kind of shocked. And then they did a promo where they were just like, lol, everyone on Raw sucks, move on. Which just kind of didn't exist. SmackDown had a women's segment as well. Separate to the title match this week. Where it was like, Nikki was on commentary and Carmella came out and attacked her, and it was Naomi versus Natalya,
Yeah.
and the match was really just awkward and weird and kind of dumb.
Well, it means Naomi won again. Like, after this, she's got to be number one contender. Like,
She has won a shit ton of matches,
Yeah.
that's true.
But the main thing I've noticed is they can't really put her against Becky Lynch. They can't really go face versus face. So either it's
So
going to be
Alexa Bliss.
so it's
again.
either Alexa Bliss is going to win or it's going to be a triple threat match.
Oh, that's true, yeah. Or Natalya could win and then Naomi could fight her, but...
In fairness, that would be a pretty...
WWE.
That'd probably be a pretty decent triple threat.
Yes,
Yeah.
true. I'd like that. As for the actual women's title match, I did... Actually, of course, the women's title match. Yeah, I didn't even think of that part. The ending to it was really controversial.
I kind of liked it, kind of was like, that should
I
have
like it.
happened.
No, I like it. I like it. It keeps Becky with the title a bit longer, which is good, because she kind of needs the credit at the moment, like she needs the build-up. But it doesn't make Alexa Bliss look bad. And that's good. Like, Alexa Bliss is incredible, and like they can't just have her getting squashed every time it's a really important match. I really hope that Alexa does get another shot now, and actually gets the title.
I like that she's finishing matches with the DDT.
Yeah, she did kind of drop it in the match against Becky.
Yeah.
The main thing about Becky...
And like, Otunga...
Carry on.
Oh, I was just going to say, Otunga tried to cover it and just kind of really failed. Like,
Yeah.
he was like, "Oh, Becky tried to counter that DDT, but but Alexa got it again." It's like, oh,
Did she? But yeah, the main thing I have to say I like about Becky is, again, for some reason I'm really into intros, and I like the fact I like the fact that they've got some sort of a semi steampunky thing going on with like the Becky,
Yeah,
with like the
Becky,
goggles and the trench coat and stuff.
So I've probably ranted about this before, but the one thing I don't like about Becky's like whole setup is that she's like a really weird mix between being like super high energy and like really fast paced, running around all the time, like never stop, straight fire, and then like all of a sudden it's just like, and now she's like brawler, lass kicker, like, and I don't quite get that. But recently she has been far more the brawler and far less the high energy, which I think is good.
I prefer her being like that. She needs to be the person that can like suplex everybody. I want to see a T-bone suplex Nia Jax.
Again, we need sort of more visceral, brawly, up-in-your-face women's wrestling. Because there's quite a few high-energy, jump around, be happy... Well, not necessarily happy, but that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, and we've got Bayley, who's kind of the queen of that right now.
I like Alexa Bliss's style, where she's like, I'm not strong enough, like, I'm not big enough to lift you, so I will just hit you a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alexa Bliss, I love Alexa Bliss's style. I think she's so good in the ring. Like, she's got a really weird dynamic. Okay, this is going to be a really, really weird comparison to make. But, like, you know the whole ring psychology thing?
Yeah.
Her attitude in the ring reminds me of Kevin Owens.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, I think I see where you're coming
Alexa Bliss and Kevin Owens is not a comparison I was expecting to make today. But,
but you're making it.
But, yeah.
Also, speaking of women's division, do you mind if I have a quick word about NXT?
Yeah, go on, yeah.
Specifically, just one person, which is Ember Moon. She seems quite promising in terms of potential, because she's very, reminding me of, like, very high-flying stuff, like should be fitting in a cruiserweight division very well.
Yeah, I haven't watched NXT in a while, but I have seen one of her matches in particular, I think. It was the last TakeOver. And holy shit, she is good.
Flipping everywhere.
She kind of reminds me a bit of Lita, with like her style.
Yeah, except Ember Moon's also able to do like the fucking hard-hitting stuff as well.
Yeah.
And like, as much, like, don't get me wrong, Lita was incredible. I love Lita. But Lita was very specifically a high flyer.
Yeah.
Ember Moon isn't dedicated to it, it seems.
But she is very promising.
Yeah, I'm very excited about that, actually. That's a good point.
Also, we had the contract signing with Samoa Joe and Shinsuke Nakamura, which was kind of weird.
Oh, no.
Where Samoa Joe brings out his own table because Shinsuke's in the ring, and Samoa's just like, no, I'm not going to the ring. I don't care if you've got William Regal out there doing everything. You can come to me and give me the contract.
The security was funny as well.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And he's just sitting there with his feet up on a table he brought at the top of the ramp, just going, nah, you come to me. My contract. And then so Shinsuke decides to just beat the shit out of security.
What?
He just turns on the security, beats the shit out of them, puts some Kofi Kingston looking motherfucker through a table, and then signs a contract and puts it on him.
Okay.
It's really fucking weird, but I liked it.
I really hate like the tables they have on NXT though. It looks like it's made out of rubber.
Yeah.
Apart from the one that the security guard went through, that was obviously wood.
But it was just a really weird segment. To be honest, I find a lot of these contract signing segments rather weird anyway.
Yeah, they're always super predictable. You're just like,
you're just waiting around, just like, right, when are you gonna start punching each other?
Yeah, it's like, this person yells more, this person yells more, oh, this person got annoyed first.
I mean, nothing will ever beat the final deletion contract signing, but this one, it was just weird. Because they didn't hit each other. And it was just security jobbing while William Regal stood around and acted British.
That was the funniest thing. William Regal just stood on the apron just watching it.
Yeah, shouldn't he be like, hey, do you want to stop beating up my staff? Thanks.
Yeah, but I don't think he was going to get in the way of Shinsuke Nakamura.
True, but...
Because he was just going apeshit.
Oh, man.
He beat up like 6 people.
Right. Survivor Series.
Yeah, let's talk about the final.
So we have We have 6 matches lined up, and we have to do some predictions.
Oh god,
We're already far over schedule.
my
Whoops.
Panshan, I'm so good at these.
Yeah. So I've got my predictions written down already. I've written the matches in a really weird order, but let's start with the 3 Survivor Series matches. Women's match: Sasha, Charlotte, Bayley, Nia Jax, and Alicia Fox versus Nikki Bella, Becky Lynch, Carmella, Alexa Bliss, and Naomi. It's interesting because they're clearly trying to push the SmackDown team more, given that there isn't like a losing member on the SmackDown team, and there is on Raw with Alicia Fox.
Yeah.
But that said, Raw has the bigger names.
I was hoping you would start with a tag team one, because then I could merge them together. But with SmackDown, I really like it, because they have, like, Nikki and Carmella are obviously going to end up fighting each other. As, like, probably Alexa Bliss and Becky Lynch. There'll be them 4 sort of angry at each other. So it's going to really rest on Naomi to put them together. And
But you've also
Natalia kind
then
of
got-
blowing a whistle in the outside.
Yeah. You've also then got Charlotte, just Charlotte, to be honest, actually, against everyone.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you've kind of got the same again. You got, like, Nia Jax and Alicia Fox.
And that's kind of the thing with Survivor Series. Like, every team is going to have that, right?
Every team does have that this time round, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Raw.
I'm going for Raw as well, yeah.
Yeah, I did as well. I just think the sheer star power is going to win out.
Yeah. And Miss No Cell.
The fucking knife. Jesus Christ. Fuck. Fucking. So you said about going to the tag team one, so we'll do that next, I guess.
Yeah.
So we've got the New Day, the Club, Enzo and Cass, the Shining Stars, and Sheamus and Cesaro
All I can
versus
say-
Slater and Rhino. Huh?
All I can say is it's going to be a clusterfuck.
Yep.
They're
up
going to
against-
take up the entire ring on the outside apron.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. God, yeah. They're all just going to have to
I just
cluster
want
around
to
and
see
try
it.
and jump up.
I just want to see it.
Yeah, Team SmackDown, by the way, is Slater, Rhino, the Usos, the Hype Bros, American Alpha, and Breezango. This is a really awkward one for me. Because, again, there's like a really weird mix between here are the teams that are really, really hyped and really, really big names and we want to push them, and these are absolute fucking nobodies. Why are they even here?
Yeah, there's teams on both sides I'm not too particularly fond of. But there's also teams on both sides I am fond of. But so I'm not sure, honestly.
That's the thing, like, New Day and, like, Enzo and Cass and Sheamus and Cesaro, they've pushed them to holy hell.
Yeah.
They haven't really done that with any of SmackDown's ones as much. Like, nowhere near. But that might just be that SmackDown doesn't do that as much.
But
But then, on the other hand, you've also got the Shining Stars.
yeah.
Like,
They'll go first.
yeah. If they don't, I will be very, very angry.
Well, I want to know, they might have said this already and I missed it. If, say, Epigo gets pinned,
I don't
is
know. I was
Thingy
gonna
out
say
as
this.
well?
I don't know.
Is
Is
it
it the team eliminated or is it the individual?
What did they do for the Elimination Chamber tag match?
Team. Is
Was
the
it
team
team
that are
eliminated? Yeah. They might do the same then.
I'd say they'd do team elimination.
It makes sense, yeah.
Yeah, imagine having to do 10 pinfalls in a match.
It would
Yeah.
take up half the pay-per-view.
That's probably the idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Padding.
But to be fair, they have only got 6 matches at the moment, but half of them are Survivor matches, which are ridiculously long most of the time.
But yeah, I'm
Also, they will inevitably have a pre-show match that's just like, here's a bunch of other random people from the roster, because they always do.
Probably be a cruiserweight tag match.
Oh, see, I was thinking, like, here is, like, Big Show and Mark Henry, who I forgot existed until I saw them in the intro the other day.
oh yeah, Big Show.
Yeah, he's still there.
He exists.
Titus O'Neil will be in the pre-show match. You know,
Adrian
they'll
Neville
just-
will.
Yeah,
Adrian Neville's
Neville,
always
yeah.
in the pre-show.
Yeah. So it's Titus O'Neil, to be fair, yeah.
Oh yeah. Wasn't there also the thing with like Gallows and what's his face? I can't remember his partner's name. But they said we're going to stab you in the back. Where they?
I don't think they straight up said that, did they? Like,
Yeah,
I know
They said first
were.
opportunity,
Oh, really?
we're going to stab all of you in the back.
Oh, okay.
They
fair enough,
actually
fair enough.
said that. I'm not sure how that's going to play into the match.
Yeah.
I think they'll turn on
but
Enzo
I think
and
it's gonna-
Cass.
Yeah.
That'll
I
be
can
how
see it.
Enzo and Cass get pinned.
But then in the process, surely the club then get eliminated as well, because they'll probably leave after that.
Either that or they'll be like, yeah, we did it.
Already out, and then
Two
they'll do
sweet
it.
high fives sort of thing, and then Enzo and Cass will get up and beat them up or something stupid.
Well, I could see the club getting eliminated, being pissed off about it, and like Enzo laughing and then throwing Enzo into the ring
Yeah.
or something, like just throwing him over, Magic Killer, leaving him there, walking out while Enzo and Cass then get eliminated. I could see that. I'm still going for Raw on this.
Yeah,
one.
I'm going with Team New Day.
Yes, basically.
I'm going with SmackDown.
All right.
Just
I could see it. I could very much see it, that one.
Just because, what's the point of having 3 Survivor Series matches if Raw win the first 2?
I don't think they're going to win the first. I don't think they're going to win all of them.
Fair.
I think they'll win 2 out of 3. I think SmackDown for the men's one.
I think SmackDown with the men's one. Mostly, honestly, for virtue of James Ellsworth.
There is that. Also, Shane O'Mac. I actually think Shane O'Mac
Yeah.
will do work.
I think... for some reason,
We've got-
I feel James Ellsworth is going to be somehow integral to the match.
Probably. So just to recap, that's Owens, Jericho, Rollins, Strowman, and Reigns versus AJ Styles, Ambrose, Orton, Wyatt, Bray Wyatt, and Shane McMahon.
I'm
I
looking
don't know why only
forward.
Team SmackDown got surnames or first names there, but whatever.
Honestly, I feel like James Ellsworth could be almost like a redemption thing for him. Like he'll somehow
Yeah.
fuck it up for the other team, somehow.
I could see it. I could see him doing that either way, though. To be fair,
True, but
I
they've got to end
put
this
SmackDown
story
in it.
somehow.
I mean, they don't. They should, but they don't have to.
Well, they should have ended it a while back. But
2 SmackDowns ago.
yeah,
Like, that was it. Done.
I'm really looking forward to seeing James Ellsworth with either Chris Jericho or Braun Strowman.
Oh God, they're going to put
then-
him in against Strowman
Yeah,
again.
Them two have that history, don't they? But I also want to see him with Chris Jericho because of Chris Jericho's entire personality.
Oh, James Ellsworth will be on the list in seconds. So yeah, we've both gone SmackDown for this one.
I'm going
Dan,
Raw.
what? Ah,
he's just
and
living to be
contrarian.
contrary.
Just
Yeah, but
throwing it
last
out there
time
that
he-
I won the last one.
Yeah, fuck off, mate. Fuck off.
Wild
So-
card, bitch.
Ziggler versus Zayn. Keep in mind, there might be additions to this match. I personally think there will be.
But for now, let's just go off the assumption that if it's Ziggler
We'll go off
versus
Ziggler
Zayn-
versus Zayn. We can always talk beforehand and like change the predictions between episodes if we need to. But also, consider that it's not just Ziggler versus Zayn. It's SmackDown versus Raw, or Raw versus SmackDown, or whatever. So keep in mind that there is that aspect to it as well. It's not just Ziggler Zayn, it's the show. So if we don't get to change the predictions and say The Miz shows up and wins, that counts as a SmackDown win.
Right.
So I'm going SmackDown here. I think the titles are staying where they are.
Yeah, they're going to be really predictable, and both of them are going to retain, so SmackDown as well for me.
Yep. And do you think then, I guess, the Cruiserweights, do you think Brian Kendrick will retain?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I reckon, weirdly enough, Baron Corbin's going to kind of limp to the ring. And then Kalisto will then like walk over into like slice bread number 2 into the captain's hook.
I could see it.
Yeah, I can
I've
see
already-
that.
I've already envisioned it.
I agree with
Yeah,
the
I can
titles
see that.
then, actually. Them
Staying where they are?
Yeah, staying.
Yep. And then we'll end with the most predictable match of all of them: Brock Lesnar versus Bill Goldberg.
Brock Lesnar, and it's going to be as shit as the WrestleMania match.
Yeah.
I'd already put in Brock Lesnar as everyone's prediction there.
Yeah, it's going to be Lesnar and Goldberg are going to spend 20 minutes staring at each other.
So we only have these 6 matches.
And
there
I've
might be
agreed
more
with.
announced.
I think I've agreed with Yoshi on all of them.
Yes, there might be more announced.
At least if I go fucking down, you're going with me this time.
Sinking on the sinking ship together.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so obviously if other matches show up, we can discuss it beforehand and try and get predictions for everything. The only difference we've got so far is the Survivor Series matches, the men's and the tag teams match.
Yeah.
Dan's gone the other way round to us. So we've got SmackDown winning the men's singles, and he's got them winning the tag match. And otherwise we all agree that Raw will win too. So overall as well, we've both, everyone's got 4 Raw wins and 2 SmackDown wins, technically. I know Lesnar Goldberg isn't Raw versus SmackDown, but Lesnar is Raw, so I'm counting that there.
Right.
Whereas Goldberg is just neutral.
Yeah, Goldberg is Goldberg.
Yeah. But that's actually a fairly even split between Raw and SmackDown still, especially considering the length of the shows, 4-2 split, yeah, well, 3.5-2 split, yeah. That makes sense. Cool. Any other things to add to this?
I have no real additional points to make.
NXT TakeOver Toronto is the night before, and it's going to be amazing.
Oh my god, yes. Yes, I need to watch that. Holy shit. And they're setting up Samoa Joe for his main roster debut, right?
Maybe.
Maybe, yeah.
Hopefully. It's about time. Cool. I think that's it from us then. So, next episode will be Thursday, which is a magic one. Oh yeah, I get to do another episode. So cool. Until next time. Thanks for listening.